Kawasaki is sharpening the point of its off-road spear with the new 2027 Teryx H2 and Teryx H2 Limited ES, two side-by-sides built to push the supersports segment into genuinely new territory. The larger four-seat H2 models already proved that a factory supercharged UTV wasn't just marketing gimmick, and now Kawasaki's applying that same formula to a tighter two-seat layout, one built less for utility and more for outright agility on fast, technical terrain. This isn't just a shrunken version of the existing H2. Kawasaki clearly set out to build something that behaves differently, not just looks smaller. A shorter wheelbase than previous H2 variants makes the new machines noticeably more nimble, which matters a lot once you're throwing one through dunes, rock gardens, desert whoops, or tight forest trails at speed. Even with its more compact footprint, the new Teryx H2 still looks like it means business. The standard version comes in at 134.1 inches, 3,406 millimeters long, 74 inches, 1,880 millimeters wide, and 71.5 inches, 1,816 millimeters tall, while the Limited ES stands taller at 78.5 inches, 1,994 millimeters, thanks to its beefier suspension. The proportions lean hard into width and stance rather than sheer size. The wheels sit near the outer edges of the chassis, letting those massive tires poke out beyond the bodywork. It's a look that's as functional as it is aggressive, since that wider stance directly translates into more stability when you're pushing hard off-road. Wheels and tires back up that aggressive stance. The base Teryx H2 rolls on 15-inch aluminum wheels, while the Limited ES steps up to 16-inch rims, and both versions wear absolutely massive 33-inch Maxxis Carnivore tires. Tires that size aren't just for looks. They're what let this thing chew through sand, mud, gravel, and rock without losing traction, and they add a huge amount to the vehicle's overall muscular presence. Suspension is where Kawasaki clearly spent a lot of engineering hours. Up front, a double wishbone setup delivers a genuinely impressive 23.2 inches of wheel travel, using long control arms and Fox shocks to soak up big hits without losing composure. Out back, a four-link trailing arm design pairs with similarly high-end components to keep the wheels planted and articulating properly over rough, uneven ground. Together, it's a setup built to hold traction even when the terrain is actively trying to throw the vehicle offline. But the real headline here is what's under the hood. Power comes from a 999cc liquid-cooled inline-4 paired with a CVT, and instead of turbocharging it, Kawasaki went with a mechanically driven supercharger, the same basic tech that made the Ninja H2 Hypersport motorcycle famous. Adapting that supercharger tech for off-road use isn't a small thing, but Kawasaki has clearly figured it out because the result is an engine that responds instantly and doesn't hesitate the way turbocharged setups sometimes do. And the numbers back that up in a big way. This engine makes 250 horsepower and 146.2 pound-feet of torque, putting it near the top of anything factory-built in the off-road world right now. Because it's supercharged rather than turbocharged, there's essentially no lag. Power just shows up the instant you want it, whether you're climbing a steep dune face, opening it up across open desert, or blasting out of a tight trail corner. Weight is where this thing really separates itself. Kawasaki quotes a curb weight of 2,154 pounds, 977 kilograms, which works out to roughly 9.4 pounds per horsepower, a power-to-weight ratio that wouldn't be out of place in a sports car. Pair that kind of ratio with real off-road suspension travel and durability, and you get a machine that accelerates like nothing else in its class, while still being built to survive actual trail abuse. Straight-line speed isn't the whole story, though. Kawasaki clearly built this for extended off-road use, not just quarter-mile bragging rights. There are two raised snorkel intakes tucked behind the passenger area, one feeding the engine and the other feeding the CVT, which keeps both systems breathing clean air even during water crossings or dusty conditions where debris would otherwise be a real problem. Underneath, the protection is just as thorough. Heavy-duty steel skid plates guard the drivetrain from rocks and impacts. Additional steel guards reinforce other vulnerable areas of the chassis, and steel plating behind the front fenders adds extra defense against flying debris. It's the kind of comprehensive underbody protection you'd expect from a machine designed to spend real time in genuinely rough conditions, not just weekend trail rides. Geometry-wise, the numbers are equally serious. Ground clearance sits at 16.1 inches, 41 centimeters, and combined with that generous suspension travel, it lets the Teryx H2 handle obstacles most side-by-sides would struggle with. Approach and departure angles both exceed 90 degrees. A 34-degree ramp breakover angle helps avoid underbody strikes when cresting ridgelines, and an 8-degree caster angle keeps steering sharp and predictable even when things get aggressive. Inside, Kawasaki balances rugged utility with modern comfort. It's strictly a two-seater, but there's plenty of legroom, shoulder space, and knee clearance despite the compact overall footprint. 4-point harnesses keep occupants properly secured, which matters a lot once the suspension starts working overtime at speed. The tech inside is a real step up too. A 7-inch digital TFT display handles core vehicle info, while a separate 10-inch Garmin Tread infotainment screen brings dedicated off-road navigation software built specifically for trail riding. Everything's wrapped in automotive-style switchgear, so the transition from a regular vehicle to this thing feels more intuitive than intimidating. For 2027, Kawasaki is offering 2 trims. The standard Teryx H2 comes in lime green or ice gray, starting at $32,899, while the limited ES, available in metallic matte graphene steel gray with lime green or ice gray with flat ebony, starts at $41,399 and adds extra equipment for buyers who want the full package. Even loaded up, the limited ES still undercuts the competition in a meaningful way. It sits well below the $49,999 asking price of Polaris's RZR Pro R Boost, giving Kawasaki a genuine value edge for buyers chasing factory supercharged performance without paying flagship tier money. All told, the 2027 Teryx H2 lineup is a good reminder of how far side-by-sides have come. What used to be simple trail utility machines have turned into genuinely sophisticated performance vehicles, complete with serious suspension engineering, digital displays, real safety equipment, and horsepower numbers that would have sounded absurd just a few years back. By combining proven supercharger tech, tighter dimensions, heavy-duty protection, and legitimate off-road capability into one factory package, Kawasaki's built something aimed squarely at drivers who want extreme performance without giving up the durability serious off-roading demands.